Without underplaying things at all, like I mean, you have had, from what I understand, a pretty rough time over the last few years.
Yeah. I mean, well, it didn't. It didn't add a sort of a sunny element to my songwriting, but it's mainly just affected me in the sense that I have very little energy, and so I can't really do that much. And making the record was very difficult because I just couldn't concentrate or physically be there for more than about 5 hours at a time. So it meant that the record took a lot longer and cost a lot more than it would have otherwise.
How long did it take, do you mind me asking?
Probably about a month.
That's not that long considering some people, I guess.
No, but it would have been a lot quicker if I hadn't been unwell.
Mm.
I know a girl called Johnny. She's a bullet, she's a villainess.
In my silver dress, I'm the disastrous.
Combing out her long straight hair.
One of the reasons that the record took a while to do was because I had to find, just for my own sort of, dare I say it, artistic sort of fulfillment, I had to find things to write about that weren't just the way that I normally write. And, you know, I normally sort of write some kind of very subjective account of what's been happening in my life and stuff. But you know, there's a couple of songs on this record that are about a much more global sort of thing, and the sort of almost pre-apocalyptic feel of the times, and you know, sort of couched in sort of almost sort of, I don't know, biblical imagery or whatever.
Are you Stalin's secret daughter? Did you murder history? Your twin pals genocide and slaughter were born in Calvary.
Well, the title track, Pop Crimes,
Mm-hmm.
and Golden Age of Bloodshed, you know, sort of very, very much about the times that we live in, and as opposed to as Maria, which is just like a tiny frozen snapshot of a very particular event in my life. But then you have something fairly frivolous like Wayward Man, which is you know, just a sort of wry tale of disappointment.
I maybe I just heard it in a different frame of mind, but I actually heard a tiny sense of optimism in the album. Do you think that's there or not really?
No, it's hard for me to say what comes across and stuff, but I mean, where there's humour, there's life, and there is, you know, I think a fair amount of humour on the record.
What made you choose to cover Life's What You Make It?
Well, it seemed pertinent to me, but also, I've just always thought that you could do it in a very different fashion than the way it had originally been done, and make it into a much more aggressive sort of, just almost sort of Stub Stooges type of thing.
Don't you hate it? That's what you make it. That's what you make it.
I read a quote somewhere where I think you said that unfortunately most people want their music to be light entertainment.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of another musician who once said to me that he felt that, in fact, most people didn't even like music.
I think that I don't think it's the focus of a lot of people's attention. They don't put on records and just listen to them. They put them on as background to their lives. You know, to something to listen to while you're doing something else. Whereas I can't do that. I have to sit down and just listen to it. I mean, I think when you're younger, when you're in your teens, music is a lot more important to you, or to some people, you know, and it can be a real lifesaver in the sense that it sort of expresses all these things that you aren't articulate enough to express.
So that reminds me of I remember seeing a television show about John Peel, and it was filmed while he was still with us. And somebody said that if John Peel ever reaches puberty, it'll be
It's very good.
yeah. And do you feel that way about music still? Like, does music still move you?
Oh yeah, very much. I mean, I often forget that it's there, but when I do listen to it, I'm always surprised by how big an effect it has on me.
Narcotic lollipop. She's narcotic lollipop. She's narcotic lollipop.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And I hope that you do start to feel better soon. But I
Thanks
imagine
very much.
it's a hard road.
Well, I'll get there.
Well, take care of yourself.
Oh,
Any chance of you coming to New Zealand?
You too.
Any chances of you coming to play in New Zealand, do you think?